Can I ask you something a little personal? Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair only to feel your legs tremble, as if they no longer fully belong to you? For many Americans over the age of 60, that moment is not just a small sign of aging. It is a hidden warning. A warning that the muscles protecting your balance and independence may be shrinking quietly, day by day. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that by the year 2030, 1 in every 5 Americans will be over the age of 65. And according to the New York Times, nearly one-third of them will struggle with muscle loss, or what we doctors call sarcopenia. That means millions of fathers, mothers, and grandparents may find themselves unable to walk long distances, climb stairs, or even lift a bag of groceries without pain. But here is the truth I want you to hold on to. Your body is wise, and your muscles are still capable of healing. Even after 60, with the right foods, the right daily habits, and gentle movement, you can rebuild strength. I have seen it happen in my patients for more than 30 years. Do you see yourself in this story? Or maybe you've watched a loved one become weaker over time? Please share your experience in the comments. Just write +1 if you have felt this weakness and 0 if not. Your voice matters here, and I promise to read every single story. Together in this video, we will uncover how science and daily choices can help you not only prevent dementia, but also fight muscle atrophy, the two silent enemies of aging. Number 1, the silent epidemic of dementia and muscle loss in America. When we talk about aging in America, most people think of gray hair, reading glasses, or moving a little slower in the morning. But beneath the surface, two silent epidemics are quietly shaping the lives of millions of older adults: dementia and muscle loss. These are not simply natural parts of growing older. They are conditions that rob people of independence, dignity, and connection. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 6 million Americans are currently living with Alzheimer's disease, the most common form of dementia. The Washington Post reported that this number is expected to double by the year 2060. At the same time, research published by the National Institute on Aging shows that nearly 1 in 3 adults over the age of 60 will experience sarcopenia, or muscle atrophy. That means tens of millions of people may find themselves at risk of falls, fractures, or losing the ability to carry out daily activities. The two conditions are linked more closely than many realize. When the brain begins to slow, decision-making and balance become harder. At the same time, weak muscles cannot protect against falls or help someone rise from a chair. This dangerous cycle is one reason so many families find their loved ones moving from independence to nursing care much faster than expected. But here is the truth I want you to hear clearly. These conditions are not destiny. They are influenced by the choices we make every single day. What we eat, how we move, how we sleep, and even how we connect socially can change the future of our health. I have treated patients who regained strength in their legs after years of decline, and I have seen memory sharpen when lifestyle changes were applied consistently. Have you ever watched someone you love lose the ability to do simple things like button a shirt or remember a familiar name? Did it break your heart the way it has broken so many families I've met? Share your story in the comments. Your voice not only matters, but can inspire someone else to take the first small step today. The silent epidemic is real, but so is the power to fight back. Together, we will explore how to protect both your brain and your muscles, the very foundation of living well after 60. Number 2, why prevention matters more than cure. When most people first notice memory slips or muscle weakness, their instinct is to hope that a doctor will prescribe a pill or a quick fix. But the truth is harder and also more liberating. At this moment, there is no cure for dementia. There is also no single medication that can reverse muscle loss once it has taken hold. If we wait until the problem becomes severe, the options shrink quickly. That is why prevention, small, steady steps taken today, matters far more than waiting for a cure tomorrow. The New York Times recently highlighted the economic burden of dementia in the United States. In 2020, the cost of unpaid caregiving for dementia patients was estimated at $172 billion. Experts predict that by the year 2060, this will rise to more than $1.5 trillion. That number is staggering, but behind it are millions of families sacrificing time, income, and emotional energy. At the same time, studies from the National Institute on Aging confirm that untreated sarcopenia often leads to falls and fractures, which cost Medicare billions each year in hospitalizations. These are not just statistics, they are the lived reality of older Americans. Yet prevention gives us hope. When patients begin eating more nutrient-rich foods, when they swap processed sugar for fiber and antioxidants, the brain begins to heal itself in subtle but powerful ways. When muscles are challenged gently with walking, resistance bands, or sit-to-stand exercises, strength can return. I have seen a patient in her late 70s who could barely climb 2 stairs, regain enough power to walk a mile around her neighborhood within 6 months of consistent training. Think of prevention as building a shield around your independence. Every healthy meal, every evening of quality sleep, every short walk becomes a brick in that shield. The sooner you start, the stronger it grows. Let me ask you this. Would you rather wait for a cure that may not come in your lifetime, or take action now to extend the years you can cook, garden, travel, and laugh with friends? Please share your answer in the comments below. If you say prevention matters, type yes. If you are still unsure, type not sure. I will read them all, because your response matters not only to me, but also to this entire community. Prevention is not about fear. It is about choosing hope and dignity. And that choice begins today. Number 3, inside the Columbia study, what scientists found. When I sit down with my patients, many ask, "Doctor, how do we know which foods really protect the brain and muscles?" That is a fair question. To answer it, we need solid science, not just opinions. One of the most important studies in recent years came from Columbia University, where researchers carefully investigated the relationship between diet and dementia risk. The study pulled data from the Health and Retirement Study, an ongoing project that has followed older adults in the United States since 1992. In 2013, over 6,000 participants provided detailed information about what they ate. They filled out a food frequency questionnaire that covered 163 foods and drinks consumed during the past year. From this, researchers calculated their intake of 101 different nutrients. Then, cognitive health was evaluated through interviews and reports from close family members who observed changes in memory or daily functioning. What makes this study valuable is its scale and thoroughness. Scientists did not just look at 1 or 2 nutrients. They ran statistical analyses on more than 100 nutrients, while adjusting for age, body weight, smoking, alcohol use, exercise habits, and education. This means they tried to separate diet from other lifestyle factors as much as possible. The results were clear. Several nutrients stood out as protective. Isorhamnetin, a plant flavanol found in fruits and vegetables. Manganese, a trace mineral present in nuts and leafy greens. Dietary fiber, and 2 forms of vitamin E called beta-tocopherol and beta-tocotrienol. These nutrients acted as antioxidants, guarding brain cells against damage. On the other hand, high sugar intake was strongly linked to greater dementia risk. The study also noted controversial findings, such as a possible link between certain milk components and higher dementia risk. But researchers were careful to say that more work is needed to confirm this. They recognized the limitations of food surveys, since memory can be faulty and diet reports are not always precise. So what can we learn? Science gives us a roadmap, even if it is not perfect. The evidence points us toward fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains, and away from sugar-laden foods. Have you ever noticed how your body feels after a week of eating more fresh produce versus a week of sweets and processed snacks? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may encourage someone else to make a healthier choice today. The Columbia study reminds us, nutrition is not just about calories. It is about protecting the brain you rely on and the muscles that carry you every single day. Number 4, nutrient number 1, Isorhamnetin, the forgotten flavanol. Let me take you into the world of a nutrient most people have never heard of, yet it quietly holds enormous power for brain protection. It is called Isorhamnetin. Isorhamnetin, a type of flavanol found in fruits and vegetables like onions, pears, apples, berries, cherries, and even in ginkgo biloba leaves. What makes Isorhamnetin special is its antioxidant ability. It acts like a shield, protecting your brain cells from the slow damage caused by free radicals, those unstable molecules that accumulate with age, stress, and unhealthy food. In my 30 years of practice, I have often seen patients who underestimate the role of fruits and vegetables. They may say, "Doctor, I eat enough. I have an apple once a week." But the brain does not thrive on occasional care. It thrives on consistency. Just as you would never expect a garden to bloom if watered only once in a while, your brain cannot stay sharp without daily nourishment. What fascinates me is how this small compound connects to real-life experiences. Patients who add berries and onions to their weekly meals often report more energy, clearer focus, and even fewer foggy mornings. Science supports this. Studies in journals like Nutrients and reports highlighted by the New York Times emphasize that flavanols, including Isorhamnetin, are associated with slower cognitive decline in older adults. Now let's pause for a moment. I want to invite you into this conversation. Think back to your last grocery trip. Did you fill your basket with colorful fruits and vegetables? Or did processed foods take up most of the space? Be honest with yourself. If you have recently added more fresh produce into your meals, type "I did" in the comments. If you are still struggling, type "still trying." There is no shame here. This is a community of healing, and your honesty may encourage someone else who feels the same. Remember, food is not just fuel, it is medicine, especially for the brain. Adding just one serving of berries or onions each day can be a step toward protecting memory and strength. You are not powerless. Every choice counts. And when you choose to add color to your plate, you are choosing a brighter, stronger future for your brain and body. Together, let us make Isorhamnetin not forgotten, but a trusted companion in the journey of healthy aging. Number 5. Nutrient. Number 2. Manganese, the trace mineral with a big job. When people hear the word manganese, they often confuse it with magnesium. But manganese is its own mineral, and although your body only needs a small amount, its role is surprisingly large. Manganese is found in nuts, legumes, whole grains, and leafy green vegetables. Even maple syrup and maple water carry this nutrient. What makes it so important is that manganese participates in dozens of processes that keep your body alive, supporting metabolism, helping bones stay strong, and acting as an antioxidant to protect cells, including brain cells, from wear and tear. In my years of practice, I have seen a pattern. Many older adults who eat heavily processed foods end up with lower levels of trace minerals like manganese. They may complain of slower healing, more fatigue, or weaker balance. When I guide them to reintroduce whole foods, handfuls of nuts, beans in a stew, or a serving of spinach, the difference over several months can be remarkable. Their energy improves, their thinking feels sharper, and their muscles regain some strength. Science supports this experience. Research cited by the National Institutes of Health has shown that manganese deficiency can impair the nervous system. And while deficiency is not common in the United States, older adults who rely on convenience foods are at greater risk. At the same time, too much manganese can be harmful, especially from supplements. Balance is the key. Getting manganese naturally through food in the right amounts is the safest and most effective approach. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a meal built around beans, nuts, or leafy greens? Was it yesterday, last week, or so long ago you cannot remember? Share your answer in the comments. If you had nuts today, write nuts. If beans are on your table this week, write beans. These small habits are worth celebrating, and your example may inspire someone else. Think of manganese as a quiet worker behind the scenes. You may not notice it every day, but without it, the system breaks down. With it, the brain and muscles stay resilient. In the fight against dementia and muscle atrophy, this tiny mineral has a mighty role. Your daily choices, what you put on your plate, decide whether manganese is missing or present. Choose wisely, and your body will thank you with strength and clarity. Number 7. Nutrient number 4. Vitamin E, the brain shield. Vitamin E is often thought of as a skin vitamin, something connected to beauty or creams. But in truth, it is one of the brain's greatest defenders. Vitamin E is a group of compounds, mainly tocopherols and tocotrienols, that act as antioxidants. They work by neutralizing free radicals, those unstable molecules that cause cell damage over time. Without enough vitamin E, your brain cells are left vulnerable and memory decline can speed up. Food is the best way to get vitamin E. Nuts and seeds, such as almonds and sunflower seeds, are rich sources. So are vegetable oils like safflower and sunflower oil, as well as leafy greens such as spinach and broccoli. Wheat germ, a part of whole grains, also contains this nutrient. The body absorbs it best when vitamin E is part of a meal with healthy fats. That means a salad with olive oil or nuts paired with fruit is more effective than a pill alone. In my practice, I have seen patients try to rely on supplements, sometimes in high doses, believing more must be better. But large doses of vitamin E supplements have not shown the same consistent benefits, and in some cases can even be harmful. The lesson is simple. Nature provides what we need in the right balance. Food, not pills, is the safest path. A study reported in USA Today highlighted that older adults with diets rich in vitamin E had slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those with lower intake. It is one of many studies that support the role of this nutrient as a true shield for the brain. Let me ask you, do you keep nuts, seeds, or greens in your kitchen right now? When was the last time you added them to your meals? If you do it daily, type daily in the comments. If it is rare, type not enough. Sharing honestly can encourage others to take small, practical steps forward. Vitamin E reminds us of a bigger truth. The brain needs constant protection. Every day, your cells face stress, and every day you have the chance to defend them. By adding these foods to your meals, you are building a shield around your memory, your focus, and your independence. This is not about perfection. It is about steady, nourishing care. Number 8, the enemy within. Sugar and hidden risks. When we talk about diet and brain health, it is tempting to focus only on what to add. But just as important is what to remove. And at the top of that list is sugar. Not the natural sweetness in a fresh apple or a handful of berries, but the processed sugars hidden in sodas, pastries, candies, and packaged foods that fill so many American pantries. The science is clear. The New York Times has reported on multiple studies showing that high sugar intake is strongly linked to a greater risk of dementia. Why? Because sugar damages blood vessels, fuels inflammation, and causes blood sugar spikes that stress both the brain and the muscles. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, a condition that not only raises diabetes risk, but also harms memory. Think of it like pouring syrup into a car engine. The system clogs, overheats, and breaks down long before its time. I remember one patient in his late 60s who came to me with constant fatigue and increasing forgetfulness. He admitted to drinking 3 cans of soda every day for years. When we worked together to cut out the soda and replace it with water flavored with lemon or berries, the changes were striking. Within months, his energy lifted, his blood sugar improved, and even his family noticed he was sharper in conversations. Now let me bring you in. How many teaspoons of added sugar do you think you consume in a day? The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 teaspoons for men. Yet the average American adult consumes more than double that amount daily. Does this sound like your routine? Be honest with yourself and share in the comments. Write too much if you know sugar has a strong hold on your diet, or cutting back if you are already on the path to change. Sugar is a clear enemy, but you are not powerless. Small shifts, like swapping soda for sparkling water or choosing fruit over candy, can begin to protect your brain immediately. This is not about deprivation. It is about choosing clarity over fog, strength over weakness, and health over decline. Every choice to reduce sugar is a choice to preserve your independence and your dignity. Number 9, lifestyle beyond food, movement, sleep, and connection. Nutrition lays the foundation, but food alone cannot protect your brain and muscles. The truth I have seen again and again in 30 years of practice is this: lifestyle is the partner of nutrition. Without it, even the best diet falls short. 3 habits, movement, sleep, and connection, stand out as pillars for healthy aging. Let us begin with movement. The Washington Post reported that older adults who walked at least 1 mile per day had a significantly lower risk of both dementia and disability compared to those who were mostly sedentary. Walking, resistance band exercises, or even standing up from a chair 10 times in a row keep the muscles engaged and the blood flowing to the brain. Movement is not about running marathons. It is about telling your body, I still need you, and giving it the chance to respond. Next comes sleep. According to the National Institutes of Health, adults over 60 who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night face a higher risk of memory loss and cardiovascular problems. Sleep is when the brain clears waste and resets. When sleep is neglected, toxins build up and the mind feels foggy. Many of my patients believe sleeping less is a sign of aging, but often it is a sign of unaddressed habits, too much caffeine, irregular schedules, or poor sleep environments. Simple steps like dimming the lights an hour before bed or keeping the bedroom cool can restore rest. The third pillar is connection. Loneliness is more than a sad feeling. It is a medical risk. A study published in USA Today highlighted that social isolation in older adults increases dementia risk by over 50%. The brain is like a muscle. It needs exercise, and conversations, laughter, and relationships are forms of exercise. I recall one widowed patient who felt herself slipping into depression and memory loss. When she joined a local community choir, not only did her mood improve, but her cognitive tests also stabilized. Now let me ask you, which of these three pillars, movement, sleep, or connection, do you feel you are most consistent with? And which one needs more care? Share honestly in the comments. Writing it down can be the first step toward change, and your words may encourage someone who struggles with the same challenge. The lesson is simple but powerful. Your body and brain are not separate. They thrive together. When you move daily, sleep deeply, and stay connected, you are telling your body and mind, I choose life. I choose strength. And those choices build resilience no pill can replace. Number 10, practical, takeaway, and hope for seniors. We have covered a lot together, 4 powerful nutrients, the danger of sugar, and the essential role of lifestyle habits like movement, sleep, and connection. But let me bring all of this into one clear message. The choices you make every single day are stronger than any pill you can buy. Your brain and your muscles are not just aging, they are waiting for your care. Think about the small, doable steps you can take starting tonight or tomorrow morning. Swap out chips for a handful of almonds and blueberries. Replace a can of soda with a glass of water and a slice of lemon. Take 10 minutes to walk after dinner instead of sitting right back down. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier with the lights dimmed and the television turned off. Call a friend you have not spoken to in months. Each action may seem small, but together they create a shield that protects your independence, your clarity, and your dignity. I know change can feel overwhelming. I have worked with patients who felt too tired, too weak, or too late in life to make a difference. But let me tell you this, as someone who has practiced medicine for over 30 years, it is never too late. I have seen men in their 70s regain the strength to climb stairs again. I have watched women in their 80s sharpen their memories with simple diet and lifestyle changes. The body has a remarkable ability to heal when we give it what it needs. So take heart. You are not alone on this journey. Millions of older adults across America are facing the same fears and challenges. And millions are proving that with steady effort, the story can change. You can live stronger. You can stay clear-minded. You can continue to enjoy the moments that truly matter. Laughing with family, cooking meals you love, walking outdoors on a sunny afternoon. Before we close, I would like you to reflect for just a moment. Which part of today's video touched you the most? Was it learning about the nutrients? Or was it realizing how sugar sneaks into your day? Or perhaps it was the reminder that sleep and connection matter as much as food? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections may be the encouragement someone else needs to begin their own journey. And if you are ready to go deeper, I have prepared another video for you. This powerful diet could protect your brain from dementia at any age. In it, we explore step by step how a proven eating pattern, the Mind Diet, can become your daily companion in preserving memory and strength. Click the link, watch with an open heart, and remember, protecting your brain before it needs saving is the greatest gift you can give yourself and the people you love. Together, we can build not only longer lives, but better ones.